Hi, I'm Bill. Most men don't realize that they're training your body to expect failure. I didn't realize it either. It starts with one bad night, one experience where things don't work out the way you expect. And your brain, it doesn't file that away as no big deal. It files it away as risk. So the next time intimacy starts, your mind begins checking. What if it happens again? What if she knows? What if I disappoint her? And that checking creates pressure. And pressure is the opposite of arousal. I lived this cycle for years. One bad experience turned into a pattern. Not because my body was broken, but because my mind kept rehearsing the failure. Every time I thought about intimacy, my brain would automatically run through everything that could possibly go wrong. And my body kept delivering exactly what I practiced. When I finally understood how that cycle works, I was able to break it. And that is what I want to show you today. Let me tell you why this matters. See, a lot of men tell me the same thing. It only happened once, and then it kept happening, and that's the part that confuses them. Physically, everything feels fine. The desire, hey, it's still there. Intimacy still matters to them. So why does one bad night turn into a pattern? Well, let's examine it. You probably tried pushing through it. Maybe you've tried ignoring it. Maybe you told yourself, it won't happen this time, but it keeps happening. And the frustration builds. Now, what most men don't realize is this. It's not about your body failing. It's about how your brain responds to perceived threats. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain's primary job is to protect you, not just from physical danger, but from emotional danger too. Disappointment, embarrassment, the feeling of inadequacy. Once your brain identifies something as a potential threat, it doesn't matter how rational or irrational that threat is, your nervous system treats it as it's real, and it activates your protection response. This is the same system that would kick in if you were facing actual physical danger. Your sympathetic nervous system activates. And when that happens, your body tightens. Your attention narrows to the perceived threat. Blood flow gets redirected. And your arousal, it just shuts down. It's not a bug in your system. It's a feature. It's your body protecting you. Problem is, it's protecting you from the wrong thing. It's treating an intimate moment, which should activate your relaxation response. It's treating it as a threat. And as long as your mind is checking, monitoring, evaluating whether you're performing well enough, your body stays in that protection mode. Sex stops being something glorious that you experience, and it becomes something you perform. That's how one bad night becomes a pattern. Not because something's wrong with your body, but because your nervous system learned to treat intimacy as a threat instead of a safety. It's not because you're weak, it's because your brain learns fast. You see, most men try to fix this by trying harder. Well, this time I'll focus more. This time I'll make sure it works. This time I'll prove that I can do it. But that doesn't work because that's just adding more pressure, more performance evaluation, more monitoring. Well, other men, they try to ignore it. I'm just not going to think about it. I'll pretend that it never happened. Your brain just doesn't forget. The threat response is still there. And the moment intimacy starts, the monitoring begins automatically. And some men try to force it through their willpower, pushing through the anxiety, fighting the doubt. But you can't win a fight against your own nervous system. You have to work with it, not against it. Hey, I tried all of these approaches myself, so I know that none of them work. And here's why. They're still treating intimacy as a test that you have to pass, a performance that you have to nail. As long as it's a test, there's pressure. And as long as there's pressure, your body stays in protection mode, right? So, what actually works? You stop treating this like a test that you have to pass. You stop measuring yourself in the moment, and you start rebuilding trust with your body again, step by step. Here's what that looks like in practical terms. First, you acknowledge what's happening. Your brain identified one experience as a threat. That's not wrong. That's not broken. That's your brain doing its job. The goal isn't to ignore it or fight it. The goal is to give your brain new information. Second, you shift from outcome focus to process focus. Not in a cheesy way, but in a practical way. Your goal stops being prove that I can perform, and it becomes stay present. Because presence is what allows your body to respond naturally. When you're present, you're not monitoring. When you're present, you're not checking. When you're present, you're experiencing. And that's when the body can do what it's designed to do. Third, you practice this outside of intimate moments. You don't wait until you're in bed to try this. You practice it throughout your entire day. Deep breathing, body awareness, noticing when you're monitoring, and gently bring yourself back to the moment. This retrains the pattern. Now, it won't happen overnight, but the change will be consistent. And here's what you can start practicing today. The next time you notice yourself worrying about an intimate moment, just pause. Notice that you're monitoring. Notice that you're checking, and then ask yourself, am I in the moment or am I just watching myself? That simple awareness is the first step. You're not trying to force it to stop. You're just noticing. And over time, that noticing creates space between the trigger and the response. And that space is where change happens. When I first started doing this, it felt weird. I had been monitoring for so long that being present almost felt uncomfortable. Like I was supposed to be doing something, checking something, making sure something was working. But I stuck with it. At first, I'd catch myself monitoring, and I would feel frustrated that I was still doing it. After a while, I realized that frustration is just more monitoring. So I practiced just noticing. No judgment, just awareness. I'm checking again. I'm measuring again. And over time, the grip loosened. And eventually, intimacy stopped being a performance review and it became something that I could actually experience again. My body started responding because I stopped fighting it. That's what I teach in my full program. Not just what to do, but how to actually make it work in your life. The structured practices, the specific techniques, the step-by-step process. Let me bring this all together. One bad night doesn't have to become a pattern, but breaking that pattern isn't about trying harder or forcing your body to respond. It's about understanding why the pattern exists and giving your brain new information through presence instead of monitoring. Tell you what, let me say that again. Here's what you can start doing today. When you notice you're monitoring, when you notice you're checking, gently bring yourself back to the moment. That's step one. That's just one piece of the puzzle. My full program, I walk you through how to regulate your nervous system. Breathing techniques that shift you out of protection mode. Physical practice that rebuilds confidence. Mental techniques that retrain the response. It's a complete step-by-step system all tied together so you know exactly what to do and when. The link to access the full program is in the description below. If this video helped you understand what's really happening, click subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. In future videos, I am going to cover more about how your mind creates patterns and the specific techniques that help you break free from them. I'll see you there.